Cayman,
The voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
Good morning. It is now time for Radio Cayman's Business Buzz, brought to you with the kind compliments of Cayman Insurance Centre, Cayman Medical Supplies, and Health City.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. Thank you, Susan. Welcome to the Business Buzz. This is a Thursday edition of the Business Buzz, and of course the last one for this week. I want to say good morning to all our listeners and our YouTube viewers. Thanks to our sponsors, Health City, Cayman Islands, Cayman Insurance Centre, and Cayman Medical Supplies. Coming soon, we'll have BRAC Medical Supplies, specializing in retail medical supplies in the sister islands. On this Business Buzz this morning, we have almost a full house. We have PC Jodianne. She is the Police Media Officer in the Media and Communications Unit of the RCIPS. Joining her, Chief Inspector Mr. Malcolm Kay. He's in charge of Specialist Operations, and Inspector Dwayne Jones in charge of Traffic and Roads Policing. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Cayman.
You're all in uniform except me.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Susan. She does a good job of this. Thank you, Susan. She says she thumbs up. Well, welcome to the Radio Cayman Business Buzz. We'll continue with our regular segment with the RCIPS. And of course, this is usually every second Thursday of the month. And in this segment, we'll touch on road safety and the Operation Quaker initiative. That's, of course, being led by the RCIPS. Additionally, later on in the show, we'll talk about a long weekend that's coming up. We always look forward to a long weekend. And what we expect from the police during that time. And we've already mentioned who our guests are in the studio. Now, first question is, everybody had a good night?
We're here.
Yeah.
So, night was great.
Ready for the
Thank
weekend?
You for asking. Doing our best to be. Yes. Hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Now, you have Operation Quaker Road Safety Initiative. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why the police decided to do this kind of operation?
Well, Operation Quaker was a decision that was made due to the serious collisions and the fatal collisions that's been happening and we've been experiencing in recent times. But I won't go too much into that. I'll hand that over to Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay, who actually was the developer for the operation, so to speak.
Good morning, Chief Inspector. Welcome.
Nicely passed on.
Yes, very nice segue.
Yeah, thank you, and good morning to everybody. Thanks for having us this morning and allowing us to discuss this very important issue of road safety on the roads of the Cayman Islands. So, Operation Quaker is really just a focused effort of the RCIP to bring the public's attention, awareness to the very important issue of road safety. As Jodianne mentioned earlier this year with the unfortunate, serious and fatal accidents that we were having, it was deemed very necessary to sharpen our focus and our attention on road safety, particularly speeding and drink driving, which, you know, as we all know, recognise are significant factors in contributing towards these serious accidents and unfortunate fatalities. Day in, day out, weekend in, weekend out, the traffic and roads policing, as well as all other units, the outstations, West Bay, Eastern Districts, are very active in policing the roads. So it's not something that is brand new, but as I said, it's part educational and part enforcement. So us being here is part of the educational side of policing, gives us an opportunity to highlight what we're doing and try and appeal to people's senses to drive carefully, drive slowly, not drink and drive, take alternative means of transport if you are going to be going out. So it just gives us an opportunity from that side of things to bring our message across to the public. The other side of that is the actual enforcement of the law, the traffic law, that if people don't take these opportunities to listen, then when we're out and about on the roads enforcing the actual law and people are getting pulled over or stopped and getting speeding tickets or breath tested on the side of the road, arrested, put before the courts, then we like to think that we've given everybody ample opportunity to be educated, and then I think after that, when they're on the road, they've made a conscious decision to not be educated and go out there and take the law into their own hands. Mm-hmm. So in a nutshell, the Operation Quaker is just a focused approach. We're going to be running it over the next few weeks. It's already been several weekends. It's been, I say, successful. It's unfortunate that it's been successful because we've advertised it, we've emphasized that we're going to be out and about, and yet people still decide to speed, people still decide to drink and drive, and we've had quite a few DUI arrests. I know Inspector Jones has some stats for us, either now or later on in the show, with the number of speeding tickets year to date, the DUIs, and some incredible figures, not just people over the limit, but significantly over the limit. Mm. So yeah, that's Operation Quaker is going to be continuing. We're going to vary our approach from weekend to weekend. Sometimes it will be the Friday and Saturday night for the nighttime economy. As you mentioned earlier, we're going into a long weekend, so we'll be looking at Sunday and Monday. See a higher volume of people out on the roads, going on boat cruises, brunches, because DUIs don't just occur on a Friday night at 1 o'clock. The brunch crowd seem to think it's okay. Mm-hmm. So our focuses are going to be changed from weekend to weekend so we can encompass all areas.
Well, we here at Radio Cayman, we're glad to do our part on the education side. Glad to have you in the studio this morning. Now, I'm going to turn the focus over to Inspector Dwayne Jones. Good morning, Inspector. How are you?
Good morning, Anita. How are you?
I am good. So, as Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay just mentioned, you've got some stats.
Yeah, we do. From a road policing perspective, why I extend the RCIPS, it's all about safety. Road safety is key. It's all about saving lives, minimizing road fatalities, and reducing inconsiderate driving practices on the road. As you will appreciate, with the increase of inconsistent driving practices, it has developed Operation Quaker, and as such, we initiated it 2 weekends ago, and so far, as Chief Inspector K stated, the stats are revealing that people are not just really conforming, despite our effort to inform the public of the operation and so bring awareness to them from an educational perspective. Some individuals still refuse to be in compliance, and they go out and they practice drinking and driving and speeding excessively. And as a result, the police is there from an enforcement perspective. Obviously, we'll do from an RCIPS perspective, enforce the law. But more importantly, we want to educate the public, because we believe that once people are more informed, then the likelihood of reoccurrence of the offense would be much less, and people will be more conformative. As it relates to the stats, I'll just take you through since the start of the year, we have prosecuted over 2,182 individuals for excessive speeding. We have investigated over 1,100 motor vehicle accidents, and we have arrested over 140 individuals for driving whilst intoxicated. Yes.
Can you run the stats again?
I know. It is quite alarming. over 2,182 individuals were prosecuted so far for excessive speeding, and this is since the start of this year. We have investigated over 1,100 motor vehicle accidents, and we have arrested over 137 individuals for driving whilst intoxicated.
2,182 for speeding.
For speeding,
and we're only in June.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, this weekend, what do we have planned? Oh, you're not supposed to tell.
No, I mean, we're open. We are very transparent in what we're doing. We try to inform the public that we'll be out and about. The ideal is not just to go there and prosecute people, but we want people to do the right thing, because obviously, we all, once you so choose to go on the road and to operate that vehicle, you have a duty of care to every other motorist on the road, pedestrian, also motorcyclist. And there's a level of responsibility that comes with driving, and more so, especially if you choose to go socializing, then obviously, we need to know that you can't drink and drive. There are limitations to what we do here. We have to be responsible enough. So for this weekend, obviously, police will be out in numbers. From Operation Quaker perspective, we'll be all over Georgetown, we'll be all over West Bay, we'll be all over East End. The primary objective is to bring high visibility to the public, let them know that we're there. We'll prosecute where necessary, but more importantly, we want people to be conformative to the rules as is established, and obviously reduce the impact as it relates to collision, driving whilst intoxicated, as also speeding.
Now, a few Saturday night, I was caught up in a roadblock because they had so many things happening around Georgetown, around Grand Cayman. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm caught up in, I got scared right away. So, I mean, if that scared me and I'm not drinking, how does those people who are over the limit, they're caught up on a roadblock, what do they do? Do you recognize them right away, those drivers?
Well, the fortunate thing for us as police in identifying most of these intoxicating drivers, the scent of alcohol is very protruding. There are certain body movements or language that the police can read or detect or identify once you are drinking or were drinking alcohol. And as such, that would normally allow the police to advance question in regards to whether or not you were drinking. And if the police is of the opinion that possibly you might be intoxicated, then obviously they will initiate a breath test, which is a preliminary breath test that will be done on the side of the road. You'll be given a seal tube, and you'll be asked to remove the plastic from the tube. The tube will be attached to a handheld device, and you'll be given some instruction in regards to how to proceed in regards to providing breath to the machine. Once a specimen of your breath has been established within the machine, it decodes your blood alcohol level, and it provides a reading in regards to whether or not you have exceeded the prescribed limit, which is 0.100%.
Sorry, what was that again?
0.100% by law.
0.100% by law.
Yes.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. What was the legal blood alcohol limit in the
But I just want to add as well, Anita, is that most of the serious collisions that we investigate, especially from a traffic and road policing perspective, most of these individuals, it can be clearly detected that speeding is a contributing factor, or DUI, which is driving whilst intoxicated. So it is important that we come here this morning and continue on this path in terms of educating the public. We want to save lives, but at the end of the day, so the police can only go so far in terms of educating and prosecuting. What is more important is that the public need to be responsible. We need to acknowledge that they need to exercise due care to other road users, and if you so choose to drive a car, then there are a level of responsibility that comes with it. Please do not drink and drive.
Take the bus.
Please do not speed.
That's right. Inspector Dwayne, I want to ask you a question before we go to break. Now, normally, sometimes you'll see the police at midnight, around 1 o'clock when the bars are closed. Well, not midnight, but a little bit after midnight. And you're on the road, there's police presence. But how late are you on the roads? I mean, are you there like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning? Are you still patrolling
Police doesn't sleep. We're out there 24. We're out there 24 hours.
No, we have to let you sleep. We need to let you sleep.
No, the reality is that successive shifts will provide a 24-hour service. So the police will always be out there. Obviously, most of our activities as it relates to drinking will encompass around some of the liquor license premises, and from time to time we'll establish VCPs within those areas so as to highlight high visibility, as to bring awareness to the public that, listen, if you're going to drink, do it moderately. You cannot drink in excess, because the police is there and the likelihood of getting caught is high.
Another question while you're talking there. I thought about something. Suppose there's someone out there who really had some excessive drinks,
yes,
and they can't get home. Are they allowed to call the police and say, listen, I need some help? Can you help me here?
We're servants of the public. That is not really the service that we provide, but obviously we will not leave anyone behind by any means. If the public need assistance, then obviously we are there to assist the public. But we'll recommend that, if possible, that they call a taxi or call a family member. And but in the event that they can't get home,
extreme case,
we won't leave them behind.
Okay.
I just want to add to that, Miss Anita, when we're going out, we plan each step of the way. We plan where we're going to go. We plan how much money it costs for the ticket, how much we're going to drink. We plan what we're going to wear, who we're going with. And so I want to encourage everybody to also plan how you're getting home in those plans as well, because obviously drinking and driving is not the way to go. So if you are going out with friends, then plan to carpool in a taxi to get home, or to designate a driver who won't be drinking that night, so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you're stranded on the road and you're not able to get home, because not only is it unsafe, but you don't know if there is going to be a police officer available at any point because of how busy the night is going to be. You cannot bank on that. So you have to plan and make sure that you have a successive plan to get home, as well as getting to where you're going.
A very good point, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people don't think about how they're going to get home.
I think that we should probably start doing that.
It's a very good idea.
Yes.
And on that note, we're going to take a break. Thank you, Susan.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with K-Man Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. K-Man Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by K-Man Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
2020, unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Thank you, Susan. That was a short break in the studio this morning. We're speaking with the folks from RCIPS, PC Jody Ann. She's the police media officer in the Media and Communications Unit. Alongside her, we have Chief Inspector Mr. Malcolm Kay. He's in charge of Specialist Operations. And Inspector Dwayne Jones. He's in charge of Traffic and Roads Policing. And we've got to the point where we legal blood alcohol limit for folks. Now, on the break, we were talking about how alcohol works differently for each individual.
Absolutely.
I can take one glass and get drunk, or totally inebriated,
Yeah.
and so you, Jody Ann, could just look at it and just maybe
maybe
it.
not me. But the point that I was trying to get across is that alcohol works differently for every person, and different body conditions give you different levels. If you haven't eaten all day and you decide to have a drink, it might mean that your blood alcohol level will be that much more affected by alcohol than it would if you had eaten. Or, what is over the limit for me wouldn't be over the limit for you. And you just don't have any way of gauging what over the limit will be when it comes to a breath test. You had mentioned that, sometimes people don't really plan on drinking, but they end up going somewhere and having one, and one turns into 3 really quickly. But it all comes down to personal responsibility and accountability. And you have to know that if you had that one drink, then you should be planning on how to get home from that point, because you've already started drinking.
A lot of people think, well, I'm fine. I had 3 glasses of wine. I can drive, and they're in denial. They're in denial, really. But they decide that I'm going to get in the car anyway. What would you suggest to that person?
I'd suggest you don't. And the reason is, it's not just your life that is at risk when you get behind a wheel. You're affecting all the other road users on the road just by that one decision that you've made. And you never know what will happen. And do you really want to live with the fact that you took a life because you made an irresponsible decision?
Inspector Dwayne, you did mention to us what you did mention to us what happens when a motorist is pulled over by the RCIPS on suspicion of driving drunk. Once that person is arrested and charged with DUI, what consequences do they face upon conviction?
Okay, upon preliminary examination, and it has been highlighted or established that the individual is in excess in terms of the blood alcohol level, then the person will be arrested, will be brought to the detention center, and from there, a waiting period will be established. I think it's about 20 to 30 minutes. And after the waiting period, then we will go through a formal process where they will be further examined, and an established machine at the detention center that will provide an actual certificate of the reading, and that document will be used for court purposes.
Okay. And what's a fine like?
Well, for DUI, it's not a fine, but for DUI, is in most cases, it's suspension of your driver's license. Okay. And it all comes down to the court and how the magistrate so choose to moderate the situation. But in most cases, it's an expulsion. You'll normally lose your license for a year or maybe beyond, depending on the alcohol level.
Okay. I do think that goes along with a fine. The disqualification goes along with a fine. But in some cases, especially for repeat offenders, DUI can even result in a custodial sentence, which is something that people usually don't think about as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's serious. That scares me. That scares me to put anything in my mouth. So just the thought of all of that, the consequences.
Yeah.
It's not good. Anyway, speeding, what is the penalty for every mile per hour over the speed limit?
Well, it depends on where you are and the time of the day. generally speaking, it's $20 for every mile over the limit that you go. However, if you are in a school zone, that is doubled. That cost is doubled to $40 during the school zones and the designated times for school zones. So I know that we're talking about Operation Quaker, but I want to discourage people from speeding in the school zones as well. We usually have traffic and community officers at the various school zones across the island, and they are checking for speeding. And the speeds for school zones is 50 miles per hour, and we want to encourage people because there's a reason for that. Children are very, very unpredictable, and you never know what would happen in those areas with them out playing at school early in the mornings or after school.
So is that in the school zone? Is that light those lights, are those flashing all day?
Yeah, no, they're not flashing all day. They're flashing when the school zone is activated.
Okay, that's between what time?
Usually it's between 7:30 in the morning and 8:30, and I want to say between 2:30 and 3:30 in the evenings.
Okay. What would you say to motorists about the consequences that they may face if they're the cause of a fatal or serious accident or collision? Okay. All fingers point to Chief Inspector Malcolm Kate.
Yeah. Obviously, the consequences to anybody that's involved in an accident, whether it's a minor accident or at the extreme end of an accident, a fatality, are many. With a small accident, whether you're not paying attention and you're on your phone texting or reading an email, and you bump into the back of somebody, the consequences there is going to be financial, damage to your vehicle, damage to the vehicle in front, maybe an increase in your insurance policy. If you are caught on the phone, you've got a fine, a spot fine for that. But at the extreme end, and what we're most concerned about, is the consequences, the loss of life and serious injury, which is what we're trying to avoid at all costs. So the consequences is not just to the driver, it's obviously to the victim, to the driver's family, to the victim's family. So it is far-reaching, and also to the community, because we are a small, close-knit community, and I think any deaths on our roads hit home. Everybody probably knows somebody that's been affected one way or another. So that's why it's so important to really, really think before you get in a car. If again, incidents happen where people haven't been drinking, and incidents happen when people haven't been speeding. But as we've established, and I think as everybody recognizes, those are major contributing factors. So if we can take as many mitigating factors out of being a cause of an accident, then we should do that. So to answer your question, the consequences are very, very far-reaching and dramatic. Not least, as we touched on earlier, going to prison. You know, if you cause death by dangerous driving and alcohol is a contributing factor as well, you're going to go to prison, and that's something that nobody wants.
Definitely not. And on that note, we'll take that break, Susan. Thanks to our sponsors this morning: Health City Cayman Islands, Cayman Insurance Centre, and Cayman Medical Supplies.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz as we take you up to 9 o'clock when Susan will have some sweet, sweet music on the breakfast session. This morning, we're speaking with PC Jodian, Police Media Officer in the Media and Communications Unit in the RCIPS, Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay, and Inspector Dwayne Jones. Thanks again for being in the studio with us this morning on our regular segment of the RCIPS, telling it to the public, educating the public. Now, how will the RCIPS continue to reinforce the message of Operation Quaker, that drunk driving and excessive speeding are unacceptable on Cayman's roads?
Yeah, thank you. As just to round up what we've been discussing, this weekend particularly is going to be a long weekend. We're aware of the events, whether it's Friday night, Saturday night, brunch on Sunday. We're very conscious of all these demands on the police. We're going to be out in force, as Inspector Jones has already mentioned. The Sunday, the brunch crowd, that they have to take responsibility and make sure they don't drink and drive as well. Sunday afternoons and Mondays, public holidays, we see a lot of people heading east up to Rum Point, Cayman Kai. So in the past, we've experienced a lot of speeding. A higher increase of vehicles on the road in those areas. So the eastern districts will be very vigilant, and we'll be out that way as well. We have, fish fries, very, very popular events. So with the increased number of vehicles on the road, again, we just want to encourage people. Our general theme is to take personal responsibility as road users, and consideration for other people on the road, whether they're on bicycles, pedestrians. This weekend, particular focus is going to be with the long weekend, the public holiday, and all those events that we've mentioned. So again, Friday night, Saturday night, the nighttime economy, West Bay Road is what people traditionally think about law enforcement, but it's goes much further than just that.
You have all those boat trips. Now, does the RCIPS police the waters by any chance?
Yeah, absolutely. Just from the land-based side, I mean, people drive to the boats, go out on the boat trips, have a good time, and we want to reiterate, we want people to enjoy themselves. These are, fun events, but don't ruin it when you come off the boat and get back into your car over the limit and then drive off. The waters are police, the Joint Marine Unit and the Cayman Islands Coast Guard are out every weekend, particularly long weekends, in Cayman Kai, Stingray City, policing boating safety. So yeah.
Inspector Jones, what do you have to wrap up with the Quaker initiative?
I'll wrap up. Thanks again, Anita. I'll wrap up with where I began. Road safety, saving lives, reducing road fatalities, and minimizing inconsiderate driving practices. On average, we investigate 10 fatal collisions yearly. Thus far, we have responded to and is presently investigating 5 road fatal accidents since the start of this year. It is never easy from a police perspective to go on the scene, but even more importantly, it's never easy to call those family members to say, I'm sorry. And in most cases, these collisions, 2 key factors: driving whilst intoxicated or speeding. We are a small community. Let's save our lives. It is important that we take responsibility for our actions. It is important that we do not drink and drive. It is important that we exercise due care to other road users. And as such, I'm imploring the public, let's do the right thing. Let's save lives. And let's obey the road codes.
Wish you well with Operation Quaker. I love the name. And whatever we can do from Radio Cayman Point, we'll love to help you. And Jodianne, I know you have some housekeeping.
I do, but before I get into that, I also want to send a big thank you to the National Roads Authority. They have loaned us their digital billboards, and they have been putting messages to drive slow down, don't drink and drive. Remember that there will be police checkpoints at various locations, especially key locations where we find that we've had a lot of collisions or speeding in that area. And so I definitely want to send a shout out and a thank you to them because they've always partnered with us and have been always willing to help. And on that note, I'll get into just a reminder and a public service announcement. If you are a security guard or you own a security guard company, or you are a business with security guards employed in your business, all security personnel need to be licensed under the laws of the Cayman Islands. And in order to find out more about that, please visit our website. And we also have a security license office, and the information for that office is on our website as well at rcips.ky.
Okay. Before I let you go, though, Operation Quaker, is this an initiative for Cayman Brac as well?
Cayman Brac officers also do their part in trying to ensure the safety of the island. And just recently, Inspector Jones had a team that went over to Cayman Brac, and they did an operation, and they had really good results, and we've posted those results as well if you want to have a look on our website for that as well. But yes, Inspector Yearwood is now in charge of the Cayman Brac and Little Cayman as the area commander, and he's also very keen on traffic, as he was the former head of traffic here on Grand Cayman. So I know that they are doing a good job on the roads out there as well.
So Sunday brunch is taking a wrap. Bad rap. I'm going to think about that for the rest of the day because I had no idea. I wouldn't even think about it. How about the rest of the day, like during the day, like peak hours, like early morning, the commute to work, and in the evening back home? Are there traffic officers on the road, Inspector Dwayne?
Yes, traffic officers are always on the road. But more importantly, what needs to happen is that we come back to our original point, is the importance of taking responsibility for motorists taking responsibility for their action. As you will appreciate, in a traffic situation, it's a bumper-to-bumper situation, and it is so easily to be distracted, to go on your cell phone, which most people are so attached to nowadays. And motorists tends to forget their environment, and the minute they go on their cell phone, they lose that focus in terms of paying attention to the road, and it is so easily to cause a collision. So importantly, motorists need to take responsibility for their action. Do not drive and use your cell phone. Be always conscious of your environment and your surrounding. Always allot yourself enough space in between vehicles. So in the event that somebody should suddenly brake or anything, then obviously you won't cause an impact by any means. But importantly, yes, traffic officer is always out there, and we will continue from an enforcement perspective to be out there and to ensure that people are being in conformity with the law.
You have your eyes on us.
And I just want to add as well, we know that initiatives like Operation Quaker is important to the public, and we know that based on the contact that the public has made with the police and the assistance that they've rendered us over the weeks since we started Operation Quaker. So I want to encourage you to pay attention to our website and our various social media pages, because we will be putting out regular updates on how well the operation is going or not so well, but we'll keep you informed.
Well, our guests this morning were Chief Inspector Mr. Malcolm Kay, Inspector Jones, and PC Jody Ann Powery from the RCIPS. I want to say thank you so much. Please have a safe rest of the week and the weekend especially. Thanks for sharing. Our next date on the Business Buzz for the RCIPS will be July 8th, and we'll continue with our regular monthly series. I'm sure Ms. Jody Ann will have something interesting to impart to the public. And that will take... our monthly series takes place every second Thursday of the month. Feel free to join us again on Tuesday for another Business Buzz. I want to thank all listeners, our producer Susan, and our viewers of YouTube, our sponsors especially, Health City Cayman Islands, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies, and coming soon to Cayman Medical Supplies, BRAC Medical Supplies, specializing in retail medical supplies in the Sister Islands. Thank you so much.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest